Good afternoon, students. Myself, Shweta Singh, Assistant Professor SOIT, IMS Noida. Today's discussion topic is Software Engineering Principles. Today we will discuss what is software engineering. So first discuss the software engineering. We just know about the difference between program and software. This portion will come in unit number 1 in software engineering. First we discuss difference between program and software. So we can say program is small in size, whereas we are talking about software, the software is large in size. And in program, author himself is sole user, and in software, number of users, number of developers are involved, and in program, single developer are involved. And in the case of software, there is a team of developers. In program, lack proper user interface, and in software, UI means user interface is an important aspect. In program, lacks proper documentation because program is small in size, so there is no need of proper documentation. But we are talking about software. Software is large in size, a number of developers are involved, so we are required well documented and user manual for the preparation of the software, for the handling of the software. Program, we can say it is the ad hoc development, it is the temporary development, there is no guidelines defined behind the program. And in software there is a systematic development, right? Next is software characteristics. If we are talking about software, we are talking about software is large number of size. Most of the we can say group of members, group of developers are involved. So we can say software is intangible. Intangible means hard to understand development efforts. So software is intangible entity. Second one, we can say software is easy to reproduce. Easy to reproduce means cost in its development. Second one, in other engineering product, manufacturing is the costly stage. So software is easy to produce, software is easy to modify. If we are managing the changes, so we can say software is flexible to manage the changes. Is it easy to modify? And last one is software does not wear out. This is the most important characteristics. We can say software does not wear out as there is a given timings in which we can say software will not work properly because there is a age of hardware. If we are talking about hardware, so there is a phase where hardware can destroy, hardware will not work, but there is no stage where we can say software will be wear out, right? The software never be wear out. It is the graph in which we can say this is the failure rate and time. If we are plotting the graph failure rate and time, so we can say at the constant, at the interval of times, software failure will be idealized, like it will be constant. There will be no failure stage. In this starting phase, there is a failure. So this is the software failure rate in a particular time of period. In the after a particular time period, we can say software will become in the ideal stage, in the constant stage. So there is no wear out stage in software cases, right? So this is the curve which represents the failure rate and time, and it represents the ideal curve, we can say. Next is software engineering definition. Most of the scientists has given many definition. We can say engineering approach to develop software. It discusses systematic and cost-effective techniques for software development. Second one is the process of solving customer problem by the systematic development and evolution of large, high quality software system within cost, time and other constraints. In software engineering definition, we have to be focused on three constraints. First is time, second is budget, and third one is quality. These are the three constraints in which we have to be focused. Developer and client should be focused on these three constraints: time, budget, and quality. Last one is IEEE definition. According to IEEE, application of systematic, disciplined, quantifiable approach to the development, operations, maintenance of software, that is the application of engineering to software. So this is the definition given by the IEEE, but commonly we can say software engineering is a discipline where we will focus on time, budget, and quality, right? Evolution pattern: every technology in the initial year starts from the art. There is a graph. In the next slide, I will show the graph where we are talking about evolution pattern. So first it will start from the art. Over the time, it graduates to a craft and finally emerge as an engineering discipline. For example, iron making, paper making, software development, or building construction, right? So there is a graph in the next PPT. This is the graph. First, if we are talking about initial stage, we can say this is the art. After gradually it will come into the craft, and after the time period we can say it is the engineering. It is the systematic use of past experience and scientific basis. So this is the evolution of pattern of technology, how we are using the technology in the software engineering, right? So this is the graph. Type of software, now we are talking about how many type of software in the market. So we can say first type of software, first is customized. Customized means for a specific customer according to requirement. Second one is generic. Generic means used by a diverse range of customer, sold an open market, right? Third one is embedded. Embedded means built into the hardware. And next is hard to change. These are the three types of software which we are going to consider in the category of software 1, right? In the type of software 2, we are including real-time software. As we all know, what software will be called real-time software, that work in a particular time of period, right? For example, control and monitoring system must react in time, safety often a concern. Second is data processing software, and third one is software. Some software has both aspects, right? So this is the category of software number 2. Now there is a difference between generic and custom. Generic means the specification is owned by the product developer, and the custom means the specification is owned and controlled by the customer, as the domain, requirement, and environment being unique to the customer, right? This is the main difference between generic and custom. Developer can quickly decide to change the specification in response to some external changes. Easily we can adopt the changes, we can manage the changes, but in custom, changes have to be negotiated between the customer and the developer and may have contractual implication, right? In the custom software, there is a involvement of customer, but in a generic, we are using for we can say we are using for our own processing. So easily we can change, but in custom we cannot easily change, right? So this is the basic difference between generic and custom software. In software engineering, when you will go into the detail of your syllabus, you will find out the term stakeholders, right? What is a stakeholder? In your book, software engineering book, in your Google, you will always find stakeholder. So who are these stakeholder? The stakeholder are the users, those who use the software. Stakeholder can be a customer, those who pay for the software. Stakeholder can be software developer. So stakeholder can be development managers. All four roles can be fulfilled by the same person. So we can say stakeholder are the user, customer, developer, and development managers. So these are the persons comes behind the stakeholder term which we will use in software engineering. So there are some software quality attribute. We all know about the quality attribute. When we will study the unit number 4, this is specifically for testing, we can say manual and automation testing. Then you will find out the term of software quality. Quality involve usability, efficiency, reliability, maintainability, and reusability. These are the software quality features. These are the software quality attribute, right? Before when the software was evolved, at the initial stage of the software there are some reasons. uh, with that reason we can say there are some software crises. What are the basic reasons for that software crisis was happened? So we can say software in the software product failed to meet user requirement. This is one of the reason we can say for the software crisis. Frequently crash, expensive, difficult to alter, debug, and enhance, often delivered late, use resources non-optimally, relative cost of hardware and software. These are the reasons by which we can say software crisis was happened. In the software engineering discipline, in the software engineering approach, we have to remove that particular features which involve in the software crisis. So these are the reasons by which we can say software crisis was happened in earlier days, right? Software crisis, if we are talking about 1960 when software was evolved, so crisis rate was very high. But at the year at the we can say in 2016, now we are in 2020, so software crisis rate are very low. We can say we are in saturation point, we are in constant position. So there is no major software crisis is happening nowadays, because behind that we have a proper planning, we have a proper development, we have a proper technology, right? Factors contributing to the software crisis: larger problems, lack of educate training in software engineering, increasing skill shortage, low productivity improvement. These are the factors which was involved with the software crisis. But nowadays we have overcome these factors, right? This is the exploratory style of software development. It is also called built and fix. Before starting the before starting the waterfall model and other technology, we have approach. We can say it was the built and fix style. It is called normally a dirty program is quickly developed. The different imperfections that are subsequently noticed are fixed. This style usually result in unmaintainable code. It becomes very difficult to use this style in a team development environment. So built in fix was the model which was initiated before the SDLC, before the waterfall model. So this was the ad hoc approach. This was not the, you can say, proper documented approach. It was the ad hoc approach. Temporarily basis we are using built and fixed model, right? This is the exploratory style in which we have include software engineering. If program size is increasing, software size is increasing, then we have to be involved the software engineering approach by which we can develop the software with the high quality software, like all the you can say all the constraint with will fulfill with the software engineering approach. This style causes the perceived difficulty of the problem to grow exponentially due to human cognitive limitations, right? Why study software engineering? What are the basic reason why we are using this paper, why we are study software engineering, to acquire skills to develop large programs. Next is ability to solve complex programming problems. Then learn techniques of specification, design, interface development, testing, project management, etc. It is the well defined, well documented approach. Evolution of design technique: first was exploratory style, then control flow based, then data structure based, then data flow based, and nowadays we are using object oriented based software engineering. So this is the evolution of design technique. Present in nowadays we are using object oriented software engineering, right? Modern software development practices: we are using various life cycle model have different stages. First is requirement analysis, then design, then coding, then testing. I have discussed SDLC model in other video, which you will find out. In this we will emphasis has shifted from error correction to error prevention. Like, so these are the practices which we will use in software engineering principles. This is the layered technology. It is the very common question you will find out in your examination. What is the layered technology? So there are various layers. We can say first is the quality focus. First is the quality focus, in which it include quality control, it include quality assurance. Then process model, which model we are going to be used, which method we are going to be used. And last is the tool. We are talking about case tool. If we will deal all the unit in your syllabus, then we will find out all the layered in detailed. Right? So this is the you can say layered approach of software engineering, which contain 4 layers. Thank you so much. Hopefully you will like my video. Thank you so much, students. Thank you very much.